Good morning. Welcome to Spotlight, brought to you by Georgetown NAACP number 5520. We have a good one for you today. Stay tuned, and we will be right back with you.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to put a hand of protection.
All right. Again, thank you for joining us with Spotlight, brought to you by Georgetown NAACP number 5520. My name is Deontay Winchester. I am sitting in for Miss Marilyn Hemingway. Let me bring in our co-host. First, let's bring in Miss Ebony Hughes. How you doing, Ebony?
Great. How are you?
All right. I'm good. Let's bring in our host, Mr. Marvin Neal. How you doing, Mr. Neal?
Hey, it's going good, man. I'm here at the Girl Scouts. It's Democracy for Brownies. They're doing a service to the community here this morning on democracy and voting. And, they have some of the posters that they've made and talking about the three branches of government and why they should vote and the importance of voting and stuff. Might be a little noise in the background, but these are from look like from 5, 6-year-olds up until the 10, 11-year-olds here. So that's what we're working with.
That is awesome. Seeing young folks, supporting the get out the vote effort. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Starting them out so early.
They also have County Councilman Louis Moran out here talking to him about how the county works and stuff of that nature. So I might bring him on for a second, let him say a word and stuff.
Okay. All right. That leads us right into our next topic. Our upcoming elections on Tuesday. What do the people need to know, Mr. Neal?
Hey, the poll is still open now, up until today at 6 o'clock. You know, where the election is going on right here at Choppy, where we are. So continue to vote up until 6 today. Get those votes in early. After today, the poll will be open from 7 to 7 on Tuesday. So what we need to know actually is get everyone out to vote that's registered and stuff. It's critical. This is a critical election like the other elections. And I'm gonna let Ms. Pilo Richards come on for a second as soon as we get that opportunity, and let the county councilman chairman Moran say a word and stuff about voting, why we should vote.
Okay.
Right, and that's a good point that he's made. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, why is it so important for us to vote, especially this year? What's on the ballot that people need to be focused on?
Well, the thing about this particular election cycle, it encompasses so many different things that affect us on a local and national level. I believe in local politics, because usually those are the things that affect us the most intimately on a daily basis. But what's going on around the nation is that literally we are voting for our freedom. And when I say our freedom, we are voting, and it's going to hinge upon the people that we put in place to protect our rights, to protect our voters' rights. You have places like in Texas where, people are being affected because of the LGBTQ community and their rights to vote, marriage. And the biggest, hottest topic nationwide is going to be, women's rights. Being pro-abortion, being pro-allowing a doctor and a patient and a woman to decide what's going to happen with their own health care. We have to be careful at what can of worms we open up, because if we don't select people that are about protecting our personal rights, before you know it, they're going to be in the beds. The government will be in our beds. As it is, they're already so much heavily involved in our lives as it is. But when you don't let you let a bunch of folks who call themselves politicians, who half of the time don't even have any type of political background, or understanding about how our government works, and they allow their religious beliefs, most of the time Christians, dictate their own personal beliefs. Because you have to understand that we live in the United States, the land of the free, where it's not just Christians that live here. We have people who have other faiths that live in this country, and that is the very foundation of this country, because people wanted to come here to be able to practice their freedom and religious beliefs. But you have individuals who are Christians that are trying to dictate the narrative and how they feel onto other people's personal rights.
It looks like Ebony was having a little bit of connectivity issues. We'll get back to her. It looks like Mr. here with County Councilman Louis Moran. Let me bring them in for just a moment. How you doing, Councilman?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Mr. Neal, I think you guys are on mute there.
Could you hear me?
I think that's Deontay having some issues.
That's Deontay. You can hear me, right, Ebony?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is take over for Deontay. Good morning, Councilman Louis. Thank you for joining us this morning. Tell us about what's going on today.
Good morning. It's a little noisy in here. I can hardly hear what you're saying, but if you repeat your question, let me step outside a moment so I can make sure I hear what you were saying and asking, okay?
Okay. So while Councilman Louis is doing that, he is actually at the Choppy Recreational Center over in Georgetown County. He is with a local Girl Scout troop. Can you tell us about what's going on today with this event?
Yes, good morning. Probably, if you have Ms. Richards here, she can probably tell you better as to what's going on than I can, since she's over the Brownie troop here.
Hi, guys. So, like you said, I am with Councilman Morant, and he dropped in with us for Girl Scout Troop 2502 of Eastern South Carolina. We are working on our democracy badge. And because it's election season, of course, it is very important for the girls, for our kids to know what does democracy mean. And in order for us to do that, we got Mr. Morant to come in, because he's a part of our local government, to give us a little heads up on it. And of course, to encourage the girls with myself to talk it up amongst family and friends to make sure that this Tuesday's election, they exercise their right and go out and vote. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Hold up.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Miss Richard, for doing that. And I know that you're the Girl Scout, the leader, for these girls. I was actually part of the Girl Scout when I was a kid, so this is special to me because
yes,
it helps build strong young ladies and learning. Now, here's what I didn't know. I had no idea that there was a democracy badge.
yes.
What are you? So I never earned that badge. Can you tell us what democracy is in regards to how we're teaching these young individuals about democracy?
So of course, democracy gives us the right to have our opinions and what justice means, as far as what's right and wrong. And yes, so we are a multi-level Girl Scout troop out here in the Northwest region of the county. And we have our daisies, our brownies, juniors, and cadets, all the way from kindergarten all the way up to middle school, and they got to learn about our local level of government, our state level of government, and also we spoke on our overall federal level of government, and then we broken down the 3 branches of government. So with them learning and talking about all of that, because some of them even spoke about the bills and the president and getting things pushed. So it's very important, and I'm glad that they're paying attention. And these conversations are happening within our homes here, because we had a great conversation. We had a great session today. Not only do we have Mr. Morant here who dropped in, but also we have Mr. Keith Moore. He dropped in, and he's actually inside because we're about to grub out with the girls. So they are getting to see those people that make changes for us here that are impacting us right here that we see every day. And I know that it was very important to make that happen. So they not only hear about the names or see the signs on side of the road, but also to see these people in their setting.
That is amazing. So tell us, or can you tell our audience, what can they do to support this particular Girl Scout troop? How can they reach you? And when are the cookies coming? Where the
So
cookies?
right now we're ending our fall product sale. So if you didn't know, Girl Scout not only sell cookies, we do sell nuts and chocolates and magazines. So we just brought in a whole bunch of our products because we've been on the pavement selling cookies and nuts. So that's what's going on right now. But this upcoming month, December, look forward to seeing Girl Scout cookie season signs coming soon. January, we kick off our cookie season. And of course, if anybody would like to donate to Troop 2502, we do take donations. We are, like I said, we are kind of one of the only troops on this side of the county. So we cover all 5 of our elementary schools, which is Browns Ferry, Plantersville, Pleasant Hill, McDonald's, and Maryville. So we got all of those elementary schools. And if you go inside, you'll see all different kind of people. And we don't always go to school together, but we do meet up because we're a sister to every Girl Scout. So cookie season is coming up, and look for, if you did sponsor Girl Scout, support the Girl Scout troop. Okay, if you did not saw Girl Scout to get any nuts or chocolates, check my Facebook page because I will put it up there one more time. But cookie season is this upcoming January, December, January. You will see us everywhere.
Awesome. And we now have our host back, Mr. Deontay Winchester.
I'm gonna go and grab something to eat. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We all know that you're the real host, but I'll do it for the day. Mr. Neal, can you tell us a little bit about, and I see we still have Mr. Morant there. We had a a school board forum right there in the Shopping Center on Thursday. Why is it so important that the people have access to these individuals who are running for election?
State your question again. Hey, Deontay,
As
state
you
your
know,
question.
we had a forum right there in the Shopping Center for
Right.
the at-large candidates for school board. Why is it important that individuals in these different precincts have access to the individuals who are running to represent them?
Well, one thing, Deontay, if you don't have access to the people that run for you, they really serve no purpose. Because, and I can't say that they don't serve any purpose, but the voters select the candidates. So the candidates should always be, the voters select their county and school board officials. So they should always have access to them because there are issues and things that will come upon us that we have to address. And a lot of times, if you don't have people that's accessible to you, they're really not serving you in the capacity that they should. So, because you have everything that's going with schools now, from choice schools to magnet schools to private schools, charter schools. All these things are important. So people need to ask these questions. What is going on with these schools? How do you represent us from that standpoint? And what is good or bad, the pros and cons about the things that you're running for and how it affects us? So why should we vote for you? That question always needs to be asked. Why should we vote for you? Okay, and those answers should come back, clearly, because there's a platform that individuals run on, candidates runs on, to make sure that the people understand why they are running. So if people can't explain why they are running, really, they should not be serving.
That's right.
Understood.
And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I see Tracy, I see Carrie Morant, I see Jones O'Ray. Thank you so much for joining us. Please give us a thumbs up. It actually does the channel.
I like to say, I like for Councilman Morant to just talk about some of the things that the children asked him this morning and what he had to explain. Just having to deal with county government, because this is about the Girl Scouts democracy today, and it's so important. I'm gonna send you some of the pictures, and we can put it on our Facebook page that they came up with. that really sends a strong message. These kids are so engaged. But I just wanted to talk about some of the questions that the kids have asked about judicial, legislative, and executive form of government.
Yes, thanks, Marvin. Really, it's really enthusiastic to see the youth at this age asking those type of questions, and they need to completely understand that we live in a democracy. And with the election being right on hand here, we want to make sure that we can maintain our democracy. So it's good for them to ask questions regarding that and to give an explanation as to what it really means, to let them know that they have rights, they have fundamental rights, and they need to make sure that they're not at the age right now, but when they become of age, that they can exercise those particular rights and they can discuss those things with their parents. So they need to understand and wanted to make clear to them that one person does not make a determination as to what happens in your life. You need a group of individuals and you have a voice and you always need to make your voice heard. That's what a democratic form of government is all about. And we need to make sure that we maintain our democratic form of government. And we have that opportunity to do that through these elections and by voting. And that's what it's all about, to actually make sure you get out to vote, to maintain your democracy and to show that you have a voice. And with the three branches of government, you understand what those three branches are. You have the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. So to make sure you understand in the form of those particular branches of government and that they must work together. And together, things get accomplished. It must show the unified form of government. And that's what it's all about. So it's very impressive to see the young ladies here this morning understanding and going over those particular topics.
Very good. Thank you so much. And that information is well needed. It's needed by the children and it's needed by grown folks around here, because many folks like to speak on topics that they're not exactly sure about and they speak on it because they don't know exactly how government works. So we would love for you even to come onto the show if one day, or come into one of the meetings for the NAACP and just talk to the people about the branches of government and how it works. We need to be more educated. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share in your program this morning. Appreciate you.
Hey, Evan, you also have Mr. Keith Moore here, who was here participating in this process and stuff. And he just want to touch with you on the school board, because he was here at that forum the other night also. He's not running down the polls. Just let him say a word and stuff about it.
Good morning. First, thank you for the opportunity to speak. The question I would get, I guess the one thing that I would want to say this morning is, you probably want to know, why am I running for school board? And I'm prepared to tell the kids in the community that I'm running for school board because I care about the kids, and I believe that with a good education and their determination, that the sky is the limit for what they can do or what they want to be in life. So I want that seat at the table to assure that whatever it takes for them to learn or need, I want to make sure that we get those things. So I'm soliciting everyone's vote and support and prayers, because this is not a game to me. This is their future. I have kids in the system, so my concerns are their concerns. So once again, thank you guys very much for your support and prayers. And I'm certainly excited about the opportunity to sit at the table and just fight for what it is that they need to become better students, and working with parents so we can understand that the school alone can't do this. It's going to have to take the parents and the teachers working together. And I want to be that bridge between that gap there, where I can reach out to parents. And you guys are speaking about accessibility to candidates that are office positions that represent the community. And I understand that this has to be some communication between myself and the parents, and I want that. I'm not shying away from it. I think in this district right here, most folks know me, and I'm fine with that. Call me. You know where I live, you know where I work at. Call me if there's a concern. I want to hear it so we can address it. But understand, some things might go your way. You might get the answer you want, you may not get the answer you want, but what my job is going to be is to give you the truth and to just see what we can do best for our kids. So once again, thank you guys very much for giving me this opportunity to speak. Looking forward to being your school board member for District 7. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ebony, and thank Brother Keith and Councilmember Rand for coming out and stuff, because I tell you, it's great to have them out, the Girl Scouts here, because our next move is to make sure these children understand the importance of voting. And I think it starts at this level. And it's critical that we teach them at this level, the importance of voting and democracy and how it works, and get the form of government from local on up to the federal. So, you know, because they'll bring the next generation out voting. The question goes back to the home. Mom, why aren't you voting? I want to go vote. And those things are important. And they need to be saying that in the home. You know, remember Jesus was 13. He led a nation. Okay. So that's what it's going to take again. Young leaders put things together, just like you and Deontay on right now and stuff. You know, all about 20 years younger than me, somewhere in the 20, 25 years younger. So it says a lot. But what we are doing also, you got to put those young faces back in the places so it motivate others to come out. And not just a face, you know, you all are the stuff.
So we appreciate you, Mr. Neal. We appreciate Councilman Morant and also Mr. Moore. And I want everybody to understand that Mr. Moore is running unopposed, but he still took it upon himself to make himself visible and to come out here and still campaign, even though there's no one campaigning against him. And that says volumes to his character and what he's trying to do here in the community. What else do the people need to know, Mr. Neal?
Hey, man, vote. Vote up until 6 o'clock today. Vote on Monday from 7 to 8. Get out in the streets starting now. Knock on doors, bring your neighbors, your friends, your sisters, your brothers. Every available body needs to vote because everything is on the line. You have voting rights on the line. Those things, that's what you're voting for. You're voting for Medicare. You're also voting for school. You know, that's what you're voting for. Public school. That's what we support. Public school. We can say that.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that forum that we had on Thursday evening. It was good.
Yeah,
Very
let's talk
informative.
about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. It was the three at-large candidates that were involved, which is Dr. Cafaro, Miss Kathy Fadon Anderson, and Mr. Robert Cox. And there was an interesting dialogue that we were able to have. And for those who were not able to watch it live, we actually have that footage right here on our Facebook page if you want to go and check that out. But definitely check out who you're going to be voting for and make sure that you understand their platform. If you have not voted already, before you vote, know who you're voting for, people. What else do we need to know about the forum, Mr. Neal?
Hey, the forum was very informative. It was more of a town hall debate type forum. It wasn't, you know, anything that got radical out of shape there. The candidates didn't perform well. You know, what we're telling the people, just make sure we go and check out our Facebook page and understand who they are voting for and what their message is to you. If you like what you have, keep it. If you don't, change it. That's the decision of the voters. You know, but the thing is, make sure we understand what we are voting for. Just don't vote for the noise. Vote for those people that's going to serve you in the capacity that affects your lives. Some schools, to county government, parks, roads, all those things you're voting for. Infrastructure, water and sewage, those things are on the table and still being moved forward. We want to continue those things to be moving forward. So it's a lot on the line there. You have women's rights on the line. You have LGBTQ on the line. You know, it's so much that we are voting for. So anyone that say they don't have anything to vote for, tell them to call the NAACP. 843-790-4075. And we remind them why they are voting.
You know what?
And one thing that go ahead, Ebony.
Anytime we get phone calls, you know, sometimes I wonder with the issues that people call in for, I wonder if they have voted, you know, because if you said you did not vote, but then you want the help of the NAACP, then you really have to question and really, how do you want to help? Do you want to help yourself? We will help, but help yourself. Help yourself to help us. Make sure that you go out there and vote, because really, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty proud nationwide. This actually a historic turnout for voting, early voting. I think they're on target to get between 6 and 8 million people out to vote. I wish I had more statistics about how many people have voted here locally, but anyway, thank you, Mr. Neal.
One more thing, Ebony, we want to make sure we highlight that we still have the SC Stay, the United Way, and the NAACP eviction protection program is still going on. So make sure they understand it's still going on at 1001 Front Street in Georgetown, Access Alliance office, and also we run in Williamsburg County also. So let's make sure we keep people informed and just look at our page where the next site will be, because we're going to continue this program consistently at Georgetown. We always have someone at 1001 Front Street in Georgetown where you could go and file for rental assistance, housing assistance, eviction, representation. Let's make sure we understand that the people know what's going on in the community and that what the NAACP is doing along with the United Way and 7 Dimension. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Councilman Louis Morant and President Marvin Neal.
Keith Moore.
And is Mr. Keith Moore still there?
He's still here.
Oh, okay. Could not
Hello.
see. And school board candidate, Mr. Keith Moore. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All righty. So it looks like Mr. Neal has done the announcements and all wrapped up in one.
Yes, ma'am. I think the only last thing that I would want to say is that just like everyone else has already echoed, make sure that you vote. It's vitally important. And when you do vote, if you do straight ticket, whether it be Republican, Democrat, however you vote, just make sure you vote. And make sure that you scroll down and specifically select which school board candidates you want to vote for, because that is a nonpartisan race. Again, you have to select individually your school board candidates because that's a nonpartisan race. Make sure that you do that.
Absolutely. Again, we thank you so much. If you are joining us from Facebook, thank you so much. Please remember to give us a thumbs up, a heart, a really good emoji, whatever. Put in the chat box that you're here. And if you're joining us from YouTube, please remember to subscribe to our page. It does help our channel, and give us a thumbs up. Just remember, as a final sign off, that early voting is still going on today until 6 p.m. Don't wait until Tuesday. If you got a few minutes, just drop by the poll. Go ahead and knock it out, because anything could happen between now and Tuesday. So if you have the opportunity to go ahead on and vote, go ahead and do it today.
And it'll avoid the lines as well.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We love you all. Continue to love yourselves. Take care.
Happy Saturday.